Being a student athlete at Averett and being an RA, it is very time consuming, but it has gotten me, I'm much more involved than I was last year. I have really good relationships with all my residents that I didn't have before, and the student athlete, it's nice to be able to relate with my teammates and other student athletes. I'm kind of in the middle ground, so I get both sides, make those connections with both groups.
Going back to school is not just for the kids. Averett University has degree programs for working adults who want to pursue their bachelor's or master's online or on campus. Visit gps.averett.edu for more information.
Welcome back here to the Grant Center. We want to apologize. We were having some sound difficulties, but we are back up and running. The Cougars dropped the first set, but they look to get back here after going to the drawing board after the switch over of courts. They look to get back here and take home the second set. If you remember when they played Lynchburg last, they lost the first set and came back and won 3 unanswered sets. So let's see if the Cougars can duplicate that here against Maryville.
As Bones sends it away early. And that is Dejanay Hester Taylor with the early point for the Scots.
Meredith Boney, the sophomore. Good job on Morgan Barnes to get around that ball there. And the Cougars tie it up here.
And as you mentioned, Eddie, the Cougars are on a 3-game win streak coming into this game. And that is what they needed after starting off 0-7 on the year, which is not how they wanted to start. Nobody imagined them to start that way. But some things, that's just how things get. Last year, our basketball team started 0-8, I believe, until we won our first game in January. And we made it all the way to the conference semifinal. So it's all about, like you said, getting hot at the right time. As the Maya Mangum sends it just out of bounds.
And one thing every coach and one thing every strength and conditioning coach really will tell you is not about how you start, but it's about how you finish. So you can't let those early season woes get to you. You just got to keep finishing strong, get your head on straight, and attack every game like you're 0-0 record-wise.
Absolutely.
And it looks like, I mean, this isn't a terrible matchup teams-wise. The Cougars are just making some mental errors. We see some communication errors, some not able to get all the way under the ball. So it's not, necessarily a talent issue. It's just a few mental errors that can be hashed out.
And absolutely, and I see it in the Cougars that they have it, and that, like you said, and the Scots are just capitalizing on those errors too. And I think that's the biggest thing in any sport. If you capitalize off another team's error, the chances of you winning that game have just gotten that much higher. As Maggie Matthews sends it up, and it's a lofter. And the Cougars, like you said, Eddie, they just look like they're just slow to the ball maybe today as they let that one sink, but the ball's still in play.
Miller looking for Shropshire again. Just out of bounds as Shropshire was looking for that back corner. Cougars trail by 4 early on in this second set.
Matthews sends that one away. Shropshire. And that's the Shropshire we know right there.
And wow, Maryville able to find, just squeaking into the back corner. Micah Patterson was giving chase, but wow. That ball just barely able to stay in.
And that was like a football corner catch. Looked like Santonio Holmes in the Super Bowl not too long ago. 2 feet down just in the back corner.
A little toe tap Tammy there. Miller looking for Montran. On the front wall of Maryville. And Maryville getting excited now.
And like you said, Eddie, just getting hot is really quick. This game was tied up at 1, and just like that, 6 unanswered for the Scots here. Matthews sends another one over the net. Shropshire sends it, and that's a Shropshire we know and love so well here at the Averett University.
Ball placement at its finest. Know where the defenders are and know where you can place the ball. Able to find Hardwood there, 7-2 now. Cougars trying to cut into that deficit. Montran back to serve. Just too much on it.
And those are the ones that hurt. As you can see, Danny Miller just, as you said earlier, just not looking like his normal self today just because his Cougars are not looking like their normal selves today. And that stresses you out as a head coach, as I know one coach that gets stressed out a lot there.
And again, a communication error there as 2 players went to dig at the same ball. It's got to frustrate Coach Danny Miller, but you got to believe that this won't last long with this team here. This team can overcome something as simple as communication errors. I believe they'll overcome it very soon.
And in the last set, when Natalie Watts was serving, this is when the Scots went on a run, but Zamai Mangum said, not this time. We would not let Watts sit back there all day and keep it up as the Cougars are down 9-3.
And how do you fix a communication error? Put a senior on the court. And Madison Dedez comes onto the court for the Cougars. Let's see what she can do. Is Micah Patterson back to serve for the Cougars? The ball goes out of bounds. Cougars pick up another point.
And just like that, just the presence of a senior on the court at any time is just a big difference in the game. As Patterson sends her second one over. And look at that, a service ace. Now it looks like the Scots have a little communication error as we get a little emotion from the Cougars here as they're down 9-5.
And Madison Dedez really is the emotional leader on this team. She brings the energy everywhere she goes, whether it's in the classroom, what a kill there. Trying to get a number. That's number 12, Breanne Sidner, the senior. Really got a hold of all of that ball. Maryville leads by 5.
Sidner looks tall out there, and she is. She backs it up. She's all of 5'11", almost looks 6 foot out there. She is getting behind that ball and gets some power on it. Like you said, that was a great kill last time. We set it up to Zamai Mangum, who kills it right back like no other. As Mangum has made a huge jump in her freshman season, like you said, she has that rocket arm, but she just couldn't control it as much. And in her sophomore year, you can see she controls it a lot better.
Much better with ball placement her sophomore year. Mackenzie Miller able to go opposite side of the court, back corner. And she's really such a smart player, and it's no surprises. Her dad is Averett's volleyball coach.
It is.
But she is such a smart player, able to find the gaps in the defense. Patterson with a good dig there. Miller looking for Shropshire. Maryville able to get under it. The Dez looking for Miller. And Miller with another kill.
And Miller coughed that one back. I don't know if you saw that, but she said back to me. And that is Miller's second kill back to back. And that will be her 30th on the year. So not very much on the, she's not very big on the kills there. It's more of a setter, as she leads the team with 349 sets on the year. And I don't know if you know this, but the next biggest on the team is 14 by Zelina Mangum, and that is a big difference. As this is
way to get up under it there by Sarah Shropshire. Very nice dig. Maryville senior Sidner saying, hey, let's get back on track here. Let me take over this game and get us back on track. The Cougars went on a heck of a run, and just like that, it's a 3-point game.
And like you said about Madison Desdez on our team, as Sidner is a senior here, and she's just doing all she can to make sure her Scots have a great year as she is in her last collegiate year.
Miller looking for Mangum. And the Cougars really picking it up. And I don't know if you remember, but when the Daz came on the court, we said the communication errors would slow down and this team will really pick up their quality of play, and it's happened. As soon as she entered the court, the Cougars have scored 7 points. And that's a tough play to make by Harper Scolo, but that was Aaron Wittenbach, the junior out of Nashville, Tennessee.
As Bott sends it over the nets, sets it up for Dez. Good block there by the Scots. Over to
And the Cougars pick up that point again. And I tell you what, Montre, the senior Dejanay Hester-Taylor, she's listed at 5'8", but she has some hops. She's able to really get up and over that net and send some balls back at the Cougars.
And let me tell you this, that is the first team, my teammate. And great save there by Dedez to stick her foot out.
And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you something, Montre. Madison Dedez is so good at the foot dig. She does it about once or twice a week, and it's gotten to be such a popular thing. She'll come to me if she does it at an away game, and she'll go, I did it. And, like, she gets super excited like you see her do it. You almost think she practices it, but she looks at me and gives me the thumbs up there.
As she did it, and Coach Miller couldn't even be mad about that one. He laughed it off and just took it as it was as the Cougars get that point back. And like you said, back to Dejanay Hester Taylor. Like you said, she's only 5'8". And she tried to kill that one at Dedez got a foot on it, but she brought it right back. And as I was saying before, Dedez made the amazing foot dig that my teammate Raymond Bullock, as we call him Goody, texted me early in the game and said, man, number 1 has hops on their team as she gets over that net easily.
Looking for Shropshire. Thought she was going to be able to find Hardwood there. It was a good wind-up. And the Cougars do come away with the point, that front wall of the Cougars. And that was the freshman's front wall of Morgan Barnes and Lauren Montran doing a good job for the Cougars there.
And that's a good sign for the Cougars out there right now, as everybody on the court is an underclassman. As you said, two lone seniors on the team do play, and they do play a lot. But this 6 right here on the court right now is a good lineup for the Cougars, and they hope to build on that not only now but in the future as well.
And like you said, just 2 juniors on the court, the rest are sophomore or either sophomores or freshmen. And like you said, that's very promising that you can play quality volleyball with sophomores and freshmen on the court against a experienced team. And a good play there by Morgan Barnes.
And if you look up on the scoreboard, Eddie, that just turns it around. 14-13, your Cougars now take the lead.
And the Cougars trailed as much by 7. They were down 8-1 early on in this set and really stormed back, hashed out those communication errors, ironed out the mental errors, and just like that, they're playing quality volleyball.
Good dig there by Mangum.
And that dig almost hit the roof and really got up into the rafters.
As I believe that it's Maggie Matthews back for the Scots, sending away. Sets it up for Montran. And that is just another kill for Montran. Just banging up on her Rookie of the Week status last week. She's living up to the hype. And, you know, I'm a big fan of her, as her last name is Montran. And if you take off the end, that is my name, Montran. And she also wears the number 3 on her back. And so I'm a big fan of Lauren.
So did you guys plan that at all? Or?
I did not plan that. I actually spoke to her the first time of the week, last week, telling her congrats on Rookie of the Week. And I let her know that my name was Montre. Most people don't call me that here, but if you take off the N and you wear that number 3 on your back, I'm a big fan of her.
And that was Hester Taylor, excuse me. Such a steady player for this team.
As Watts looks to send it over, down by 1 on the scoreboard.
I'm going to say Mackenzie Miller touched it twice. Didn't get both of her hands on it at the same time there, but 16-16 as Watts steps back to serve again here for the Scots. Great dig there. Mackenzie Miller just not able to get to it, but a great dig there by Lauren Montran as Maryville picks up the point.
And those are the hardest there, the short digs where you have to dive on the floor, and then you're kind of put at a deficit because it goes right there over the net, and they have it kill when it's 5-6 and you have one player on the floor.
Right.
Just hard to do.
Now we're looking for Shropshire.
Watts with the dig over to Sidner. And the Scots pick up the point, now up 18-16 in here in the second set. And like I mentioned last time, Eddie, back there when Watts is serving, the Scots tend to go on a little run here. As last time we stopped the run early, they pick up 3 quick points where she's serving and she leaves a little short. And as a freshman, you can live with those mistakes a little bit because as she is, like we said, freshman, you don't expect much from her, but whenever she can give it to you, you take it.
And, I mean, that's a mistake that even a senior would make. She's really out here playing like a senior, so you're okay with her making that mistake. We'll live by it. We're still up by, or they're still up by 1 point, rather. Miller looking for Shropshire now. Great dig there to send it back over the net. Miller's going to look for Dedez this time. Miller going to Mangum this time. And the Cougars almost able to keep it alive, but not able to get the lift off the ground. 19-17 as Miller looked to every attacker on the team to get it over the net that time, just couldn't find any success. This will be number 8, Sadie McDaniel, the senior, stepping back to serve. Miller to Shropshire. Good job by the Cougars there. Shropshire had to kind of get around that ball, but she made it work. 19-18, a close set here.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. Miller is just amazing with the sets. She just puts them in, and those are the ones, especially late in the game, the ones that hurt the Cougars a lot. As the Cougars trail here 20-18 in the second set. And late in sets, you do not want any service errors or service aces for either sides of.
And Harper Scolo checks onto the court for Sarah Shropshire. Scolo not able to get the right roll off the arms there. Timeout called by the Cougars, 21-18. The Cougars trail by just 3. Let's see what they can draw up out of the timeout break.
I think me being involved with SAC, along with my involvement with the men's soccer team, has made my experience at Averett amazing. At first, I didn't really want to get involved around campus, but since jumping in the deep end, I feel like I've had a brilliant experience, and me being able to help Averett whilst Averett's helping me is probably the best experience.
(21-18), and Cougars trail by 3. The serve is with Maryville, and it's in the hands of the senior, Brittany Sidner. And kind of another mental error there, as Scolo didn't really know if she wanted to touch that ball or not. Had her teammates screaming out, but she believed she could have got up under it and kind of halfway went at it, and it hit her fingertips. 22-18. Miller almost lost his mind there. Again, a lack of communication. Almost got the Cougars. Madison Dedez, being the senior wall that she is.
And down 22-9 here. The Cougars are not out of it. I mean, as you said earlier, they trailed by as much as 7, maybe 8 in this set here. Mangum sends it over.
Good job there by Montran. Mr. Dez looking for Montran, and does go out of bounds. (23-19) now, 4-point lead.
And when Hester Taylor is in the game, Eddie, they look to find her, and she checks in for these last 2 points possibly here. Montran sends it over. And as you said, Montran sent it over, and looks like a Scott just misplayed it, just a little bit. As this is the first time I've seen the Scots coach up off the bench. Like you said, it's her 35th year there. She is calm, cool, and collected. She has probably sent it all as they find Hester Taylor, as she makes a play on the ball that I don't even think she meant to make, as it just seemed to hit her. She just went over.
It kind of went back and forth between the two front walls of the Scots and the Cougars there. And The Scots came out on top, and they were lucky enough to get the right bounce, and they come out on top. 4-point lead, one point away from securing the second set. Miller trying to find Barnes there. And that will win the second set for the Scots, 25-20. The Cougars came close. They put up a good fight, but they really need this third set here. So let's see if they can really iron out those communication errors. When they iron those out, they look like a really good team. But let's see what they can make happen here in the third set. Welcome back to the Grand Center, and you're watching the Averett Sports Network live, where it's your Cougars going up against the Scots of Maryville. The Cougars trail 2-0 here, as they put up a very valiant effort in that second set. They lost 25-20. And so Morgan Barnes will step back to serve for the Cougars, the freshman. It's Hester Taylor again.
She has had a day here, Eddie. As you've spoken to the last set, and she just picks it right back where she left off at. She has had a day. She is getting up over the net every time and just not even finding the hard wood, but she's just finding a player, and it's just very hard to dig at those balls. As Muncher, the freshman, makes a little error here.
So 7 on this time will be Emerson Frey coming on for Lauren Montran.
as Frey's only played in 3 sets coming into today. The Scots pick up a kill there. 17, Maggie Matthews looks to send it away here.
Cadet's trying to push the defense back. Mangum's getting under it. Miller looking for a corner there. And the ball does land inbounds. 4-0 here for the Scots, but we saw this last set, the Scots got up by about 7 early on, and the Cougars stormed back and took the lead.
That one flies out of bounds. Cougars pick up their first point. Harper Scullo checks into the game. She sends a good serve over the net.
That was a good job by Mackenzie Miller to get that kill there.
And those are serves that volleyball players love to have, where they tightrope the line and they make the opposing team make a weird angle on the ball. Just one of those ones you can't control very hard. As Miller saves that one there. Patterson sends it over.
That was a good job there by Maggie Matthews. Matthews, a junior.
Looked like the Cougars were in position there, but as you mentioned earlier, just sometimes just a little too far away from the net as it just dropped right in front of them still. Sends it over to Mangum. As athletic director Meg Stevens has entered the building, she finally gets a chance to sit down and watch the game. I know she's always busy with everything going on.
You hardly ever see Meg Stevens sit still. Anytime I've ever seen her, she has been on the move, on the go, and has been busy. Emerson Frey trying to make something happen, just pushes it too far past that back line. Timeout called. 7-2 here for the Cougars. We'll be right back.
What makes Averett special to me is the small class sizes. I definitely chose Averett because I wanted, to know my professors. Another thing was I made a promise to myself in 5th grade that I wanted to play collegiate soccer.
And we're back here at the Grant Center. 7 points to 2, Maryville leads. Miller looking for Dedez. Maryville rallies. Patterson not able to get up under it.
Excuse me. Just a little hesitation there from Patterson. Didn't know if she wanted to get all underway. Didn't want to get under it all the way there.
Miller looking for Mangum this time. And Mangum doing a good job with ball placement there. Making a smart decision.
And I saw some clapping there by head coach Danny Miller as he not a big emotion guy. You know, usually just takes it calm, cool, and collected. As this one's going to hurt him a little bit as the service error there by Mangum. As the Cougars are only down 9-3. Like you said earlier, they were down 7-1, 8-1, 7 points in the second set. And they're only down 6 points here. As they know, like you said early in the first set, Eddie, going on a run in this game is just so easy and so, excuse me, as the Scots know, as coming on a run is so good to come by. Don't know what.
And it can really benefit your team to go on a run, whether it be early or late, as, you know, the Scots lead by 7 here, 10-3.
This should be McDaniel on the serve here. Dez with the shot, and 2 Cougars win for it. And that was what I was talking about earlier, Eddie. The ball is just not bouncing the Cougars' way. Still not in their favor. Like that one, no error there, no mistakes there, not bad talking. It's just the ball just took an ugly bounce. And that in any sport, when the ball takes an ugly bounce, those are hard to play. And just a great play there by number 6, Maryville Bonet. Just found a soft spot in the defense. Good kill there by number 5, Mackenzie Miller, as she has had herself a day here today.
Maryville leads it. It's been a rough 3 sets here for the Cougars, like you mentioned. Just not able to get the bounce off of the ball. Micah Patterson back to serve for the Cougars. Cougars almost able to find hardwood there. Emerson Frey able to get up under it, looking for Mangum as Miller. Patterson doing a good job of getting up under it, but not able to get the direction off of the ball.
And I'll tell you what, Eddie, it may not look like the hardest sport, but I tell you what, controlling the ball in volleyball, wow. I've taken volleyball class a couple times here at Averett University, and if somebody knows how to send that ball at you at full speed like that, with one of those called rocket arms that you say, as that one stays in bounds there, it is hard to control that ball and get up under it. And as they said it in terms, dig, as number 21, Giselle Harris enters the match.
And the Cougars, without the Dez, Shropshire, or Montran on the court, you got to think within the next 3 or 4 points we'll see those players come back on. Especially they trail by 7 here, 13-6. Miller on the serve. And Harris did a good job of digging and just did not get the airtime enough for Mangum to get back up under it.
As number 14, Allison Bott sends this, is going to send this serve away. Mangum sends it over. Sets it up for number 17, Maggie Matthews. Blocked here by the Cougars. Patterson sets it. As we have a good matchup on our hands here, going back and forth. Gonna set it up again for Matthews. Tips it soft. Morgan Barnes able to get under it. The freshman Harris gets a nice kill.
Mangum doing a good job with her lateral movement there. Good job, Harris. Miller to Frey. Almost able to pick up her first kill of the year.
Great dig by there by Patterson. Sends it over to Mangum as she just finds a soft spot. But number 6, Bonet was there.
Miller looking for Barnes. Barnes finds hardwood. Good resiliency shown there by the Cougars.
And the 3 freshmen there for the Cougars look really good there. Giselle Harris looked very, very, very calm, cool, and collected. I mean, big, long set. The ladies were getting tired. Both teams look really good there. As Harris there with the block.
And in long rallies like that, it's really your communication that's going to help you. There's players rotating around, moving around all over the place. You've really got to have your head on the swivel, and you've got to be communicating and listening to your other teammates. Good job there by the Cougars. 14-8. Frey on the serve. Patterson getting up under a Miller, looking for Mangum. Mangum trying to push the defense backwards here. Frey. Miller to Harris. Just too much. I saw the gap she was trying to find. Patterson doing a good job again. Miller. And Mangum making it happen. Comes off the hands of a Maryville player, and now it's 14-9.
And I'll tell you what, Eddie. Well, back to two plays ago, those long rallies, the team that wins that usually gets a little momentum there after that set for the next couple for the next couple plays. And the Cougars are on a little run here. Oh, as it looks like
chemistry error there between Miller and Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes looked like she jumped just a tad bit early on that one. Only down 15-9, 6 points here on the scoreboard. The Cougars are not in bad position here. If they can go on one more 3 to 4 point little run here, they can get over. As Mangum just sends it over. As Patterson tried to get up under that one. Hard ball to play for.
Timeout called by Coach Miller. 16-9. The Cougars still have a little bit of that momentum. Let's see what they come out of this timeout break here at the Averett Sports Network.
I think me being involved with SAC, along with my involvement with the men's soccer team, has made my experience at Averett amazing. At first, I didn't really want to get involved around campus, but since jumping in the deep end, I feel like I've had a brilliant experience, and me being able to help Averett whilst Averett's helping me is probably the best experience.
Back here live at the Grant Center, 16-9. Maryville leading. Patterson doing a good job. Miller and Mangum just letting her power get away from her. And you can see the Averett Cougars on the court kind of laughing. Mangum just let it loose that time. Miller trying to find that back corner. Patterson not able to get all the way up under it.
Mangum, as I want to talk about again, she's only 5'7", but she, just like you said, she has that rocket arm. She can get up and get under that ball as Harris sends it over. And Harris does not look bad here early in the set, Eddie. Another freshman, new to the team and hasn't played a lot this year and much, but she does not look bad out there today.
Well, the thing is, if you're a freshman, when you get on, you have to really make every minute count. You can't make very many mistakes, and she has played some quality minutes here for this volleyball team, and that is Hester Taylor.
That is a name we have talked about a lot today, Eddie Glenn. She is, they find her the right spots. Not that she's much of the outside here. She's right there in the middle, and she finds the hardwood every single time, it seems like. As Mangum try to find a spot. As Miller sends it over there.
Good job by Mangum being flexible. And that ball just came off of Harris's hand the wrong way. I think she tried to jump for it and, last second didn't really want to jump anymore, but nevertheless, that's a mistake you're okay with, 20-9.
And they just said it's a mistake you're okay with. Miller talking to her, and she's just shaking her head, learning from her coach. Like you said, she's in there just trying to get some good time, and Mangum sends a kill over. And those are the ones that are hard to play, as the Dez looks like she's coming in here for Patterson. Like you said, as a freshman, you just want to get in and play and show you still belong here, as you're working for your minutes, still working for time and all that. And she is showing that she is ready to play for 3 more years here as a Cougar in the rest of this season. Good block there by Mangum.
Dejanay Hester Taylor. Again, another kill for Hester Taylor.
As she came in today's game with 87 on the year, that was 8 off of the team's high. I do not know if she has passed Sidner in kills, because Sidner has played a very good volleyball today, but she looks like she might be very close to it by the end of the day. As Miller sends that one back over. And those are the ones that were killing the Cougars earlier, missed time balls, and Dejanay Hester Taylor. Even though it didn't look much like a kill, she'll get the kill on that one, though. As the Scots lead 22-10 here in the 3rd set. Patterson gets it over. Magnum's going to send it over.
Patterson, Miller does not find the back corner, just stays out of bounds, 23-10.
They were thinking there that the Scots tried to touch it. I mean, those are one of the ones where a player tries to save the ball in basketball, and they still call it to their ball. You just feel like they got a slight hand on it. The Cougars celebrated for a little bit, but the referee overturned the joy as the Dez
bringing the heat.
Amazing kill. Good dig there by the Scots. Great dig there by Miller.
24-10 now. Maryville, it looks like they're going to bring this one home in a 3-set victory.
And, Eddie, as we were talking about before the broadcast, which we haven't mentioned today because I'm a big believer, if you say something, it will not happen. The Scots look like they're going to pick up their first road victory on the year. And, of course, to where I say something, I'm just a big believer in that. I'm sorry, Scots fans. I should have waited till you guys got the last point. But I am a big believer in that if you let something be said on air, it would not be in the works anymore.
The commentator's curse is what they call it. Who is standing strong there? Cougars pick up another point on the double tap.
And like you said, standing strong there was, I believe, the Dez and Miller.
And I'll tell you what, Montre, if the Cougars pick up this point here, I would not be surprised to see Sarah Shropshire or Lauren Montran back into this game. Great job there by Madison to Dez to block the shot of Dejanay Hester Taylor.
And the Cougars did pick up the point, but Shropshire stays on the bench, and so does Montran. As the Cougars send it over. And there it is. The Scots would pick up this 25-13 set. They win 3-0, and that, like I said, excuse me for saying it just a little bit early, that is their first road win on the year. And now I do believe that we will be seeing your Bridgewater volleyball team going against a team that just played in Maryville College.
And like you said, that'll do it for this game. 3-0. Maryville wins it. The Cougars played good, played hard. They're going to probably go in the back, get on the whiteboard, figure out what they did wrong, figure out what they can fix before they 3 o'clock game against Bridgewater. But nevertheless, Bridgewater will go up against Maryville in the meantime here on the Averett Sports Network.